A local funeral home finding themselves under heavy criticism for the way they handled a burial on the weekend. Here's Charles Fisher with the scoop.
Making rounds on social media this past weekend was an interment in a public cemetery that Kirsch Ferguson, president of the Funeral Directors Association, says was in poor taste.
What was circulated on social media was the incident involving the interment of a deceased person. Apparently it was a graveside service in a public cemetery. What was very disturbing to myself, members of the association, and the general public was the manner in which the interment was done. It was in poor taste and at the same time not consistent to what we do traditionally here in the Bahamas.
Not naming the funeral directors, Kirsch stated that he did reach out to those responsible.
I thought it best to reach out to them immediately to find out what was going on and why did they allow such a thing to happen in such a manner. In the first instance, the grave was shallow. Proper mortuary lowering device equipment was not used, and at the same time, the manner in which the grave was closed was inconsistent to what we normally do.
Graves are dug to a certain height, and if not done properly, can cause environmental damage.
Most certainly, especially as we experienced this weekend with the passage of the storm, water beating down on the grave that is not properly covered, or a grave that is not to the proper depth. All those things can occur and cause undue hardship for the family and the general public.
On this note, he is trying to get all funeral homes in the country to operate under one umbrella.
All funeral homes operating in the Bahamas presently are not under the ambit of the association. And it's a reason that we want to address in short order with legislation. We want to be the agency that gives a green light for government to allow funeral operators to open. We require persons to be academically trained by an accredited institution and at the same time have a number of years of experience under their belt before they venture to render service to the general public. Secondly, to give consumers the protection they need in terms of fraudulent activities by funeral directors, mishandling of monies or pre-need contracts and the like. Secondly, we want funeral homes to be properly inspected for sanitization purposes. In addition to the Environmental Health Agency that now oversees that, we think more structure ought to be brought to that whole incident, and at the same time allow funeral directors to continue to have continuous education to more or less recertify themselves on an annual or yearly basis, however way government wish to put it in place.
For the Morning Edition, I'm Charles Fisher.